Mr. Chairman, Mark Eset is my name from Akwa Ibom State. Okay, point of order, Mr. Chairman. Am I recognized, Mr. Chairman? Thank you very much. From Akwa Ibom State. Mr. Chairman, I don't know if I'm the only person, but I doubt. What the IGP is reading is quite different from the document we have in. No, sir, we are all here for budget.
Very important, please.
It's very, very important that whatever they are presenting, all members will be acquainted with it. You can't give me a copy after this. It's not the same thing. The details are not here, like the zonal offices he has mentioned. They are not captured here.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman. Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
Please, Senator, please. Make it easy. It is our decision within the leadership of this committee to allow IG to summarize his presentation.
No, Chairman, we're not in a hurry. We are not in a hurry. We must do the right thing.
We are not in the chamber. You are there to wait for the collective. You have it.
It's not in this copy.
What is written is
A new copy was sent to you. Check and see it.
Not in a hurry.
If you just have the copy, ask for the copy.
Yeah.
This is not a big deal. You ask for the copy. The copy is there available.
Chairman,
There is a point of
I'm
order.
still on the floor. I'm still on the floor, Mr. Chairman.
We need the opinion of all the members. Can we allow IG to proceed with what he's reading?
No, we don't have it. We don't have
it. Please.
Then I will leave. I will leave the copy. What are we reading now? What do you want to do? Leave. We are acting in the head. Leave.
Mr. Chairman, please go. Mr. Chairman, point of order, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman. Thank you. Deputy Chief Whip. Deputy Chief Whip. Deputy Chief Whip. Deputy Chief Whip. Mr. Chairman.
Point of order, please. Mr. Chairman, distinguished colleagues. We are here to serve Nigerians. And Nigerians should see us as a very serious institution. We are not against the presentation of the IGP, but I, as a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, should have what the IGP is reading. Yes. Exactly. Please let me finish. I represent.
Well, for me, I think President Tinubu is coming there. I mean, Rome was not built in a day. We are just battling with the insurgents in our area, and gradually we are coming up. And as we are coming up, we will now start thinking on the next step. Once we calm down the insurgents of banditry and unknown gunmen and all the rest of them, we will be able, the president and his team and all of us will advise him to open the chapter 2 of the book. And the chapter 2 will be development. Once you have no insurgents, you have no unknown gunmen, and you don't have any disturbances about our people, and we will talk page 2 of development. We have always, people will say, we have always asked the president, according to law, find the best way of law to address the issue of Southeast, both the issue of the IPOB, the issue of everybody, to address this within the context of law of Nigeria, so that possibly, very quickly, Nnamdi Kanu will be released from prisons, and we will continue to live a better life and produce everything. Let me be honest with you. Nigerians are suffering because of the problem we're having in the Southeast. The Southeast can produce everything you buy in China. We can make them in Abane and Onitsha. Everything you buy from China. Just give us electricity, give us the way that with it, and give us the direction. We produce everything that you produce in China. The technologies are there, everything, we have it, but we need a better atmosphere. We need to clean away properly in agreement the sit at home, which has cost hundreds of billions of naira out of the Southeast. We need to bring back the I can do it spirit. We need to sing back aging by aging. We need to go back to what we know how to do. When I was governor, a lot of things were being manufactured in Aba. People have begged Aba people to stop putting.
To be honest, I can stand here today and I can give a few points that are contrary, a few points that explain perhaps what we're going through and how it was totally predictable, most of it, and maybe avoidable. But I'm not going to do that. I've chosen not to speak about the economy and the reforms or to even explain anything because if I explain, it would help this government, and I don't want to help the government. I don't want to help this government. You know, they're my friends. If they don't behave like friends, I don't behave like a friend. So I watch them being stewed, and they don't even have people with credibility who can come and explain what they're doing. But I'm not going to help. I started out helping, but I'm not going to help. I'm not going to discuss it. Let them come and explain to Nigerians why the policies that are being pursued are being pursued. And meanwhile, I'm watching a very nice movie with popcorn in my hands. I'm watching them stew. But I will say one thing. What we're going through today is at least in part, not totally, at least in part, a necessary consequence of decades of irresponsible economic management.
When are you going to rest from politics?
When I free Nigeria.
Duties and with unyielding commitment to rebuilding Nigeria towards ensuring that we remain steadfast on the journey to a prosperous future, I hereby present the 2025 budget to the joint section of the 11th National Assembly. 10th? I wrote 11. Which means you are all re-elected.
Oh, sure, wow.
Assembly. But we now invite our distinguished president, a man of focus, a man who loves the National Assembly, the one that will support you to support your constituents, to now present the 2025 budget. On your mandate,
On your mandate, we shall stand.
on your mandate,
Ayamande, Ayamande, we shall stand. Ayamande, we shall stand. Oh. Ayamande, Ayamande, we shall stand.
Thank you very much.
Very much,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
After listening to this great remark of a great mind, colleague, and the president of the Senate, I feel I could have just lay the budget. Oh. With your rendition of the mandate support, I can't do otherwise. I must but respect you and go through the exercise of reading. It is a great honor and pleasure for me to be back where I started. As once a member of this respected house of thinkers and doers, I am grateful to be your president. And to be here to see so many faces of my friends, colleagues, and competitors.
The stronghold of your partner is threatened in this election by the Otoge slogan.
That is a learning now. Lagos is not Kwara now. We Kwara. You are being in Lagos now. Let me come to your station to transfer you to Kwara. I'll give you a no. There's a limit to copycats. Lagos should be Otope. What?
You are not afraid that you might lose the election?
We are going to win. We are the only party in Lagos. The rest are repeater stations. They come every 4 years and they go back in again like traps.
Ó tọpẹ́, ó tó gẹ́, kí ni gbogbo ẹ̀, kí ni difference here, ladies and gentlemen, I dey say una be 4 people, you don dey enter 2. Wherever I be, welcome to Honor Politics. Today, we go talk about pretty much the way forward, and if you haven't listened to Apostle Dele TV, the comrade himself, his service this morning, you should do. But if you haven't, don't worry. We are here to talk about it. His message today was very short, simple, and straightforward. Yes. But I just want to say I agree and disagree at the same time. But that's what I'm here to expatiate on. What I agree, what I disagree. With him, he talked about the need for us to speak in one voice collectively. in one accord and demand for electoral reform before 2027. As much as I agree with him, but what is that going to do for us? I've always asked this question: if actually we understand the kind of system we are practicing. As simple as that question may sound, it's a serious question. I don't actually believe a lot of us understand the system, the political system we are practicing. Because if we do, electoral reform now, election now, I don't think we'll be worried about election. At least not the way we dey carry am for head now. And in this structure where they build, that is 25 years going uninterrupted, doesn't really matter vote. But anyway, we'll go into that uh, in details. But pretty much that's what the message is centered around. He said we should come together and ask for electoral reform. That's fine. And before he got to that point, he gave a background because you spoke. Pretty much that is the title of his message, because you spoke, which pretty much direct interpretation of his own ordeal, what happened when he got abducted and locked up, and the people came together and speak collectively. And because of that action, he got his freedom today. So he's pretty much building on that the need for us to speak together regardless of who or what, across racial background, across ethnicity, across political. It's our time we start seeing beyond those labels and speak in one accord and demand for what we want. And it started by electoral reform. But before we go into all that, let me welcome everybody again to On African Politics. It is the Sunday morning of the Sunday morning of the Sunday morning. As you come in, please do the needful. Pay your due, pay your homage, pay your respects, pay your offering. How? Just press like, share. And if you haven't subscribed, please do that. Very important. Like, share, and subscribe though. Okay. I dey look at how no boy na me dey confused or na una wetin dem call am, chairman of the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reform, Taiwo Oyedele. So if I'm not mistaken here, there's three quotation that is accredited to him that I don't get. The first one is, there's nothing wrong with Nigeria, but maybe there is something wrong with the people ruling Nigeria. Now, that I've always find it hard to accept that statement, that the problem is with the leaders. That's not, I think, for me, that's a very wrong way of seeing things. They are indirectly telling the followership that they are stupid. They are right in that sense. But if they are right in that sense, that means the leadership is not the problem. We are the problem. And if we want to go by Dele Farotimi's message this morning, it is the way it is selection process that is the problem. Well, in his own case, election process. But the truth is that it is a selection process. They select, we elect. That's why I said election reform, yes, is necessary. Yes, it's part of the institution of democracy. I get all that. But there are steps, there are level to those institutions. First thing first, we have to get the structure of our society intact. Nowhere in this world where one person, in the name of, I don't care, emperor, whatever, they dictate for 200 million people. It doesn't happen anywhere in the world. Not in America, not in China, not in Russia, not in India, not even in Ghana. So, why do we think that is okay? Every one of us agree that the Nigerian president is a very powerful president. And if you go ahead to ask, people will tell you why he's very powerful because pretty much he's in charge of the altar decision. But nobody says, okay, how do we make sure we strip him of that power? I never see anybody actually put that question across. So that's what we need to do first. How do we strip that our president of that king-like power? It's do exactly what Ganguje did in Kano, when he dethroned Sanusi. He followed by what? Splitting the Emirates into four. That's exactly what needs to be done in Nigeria. Every state has have to have its own sovereignty. I mean, that is the democracy that we model our own after, which is the United States. That is it, right there. Every state should have his or her own autonomy to not just be in charge of his or her resources, but how he chooses to govern themselves. How I choose to organize my election in Edo State should be the prerogative of Edo State people. The system of government that we even want to use should also be their own prerogative. Now, am I saying that the allegiance should be cut off to Nigeria? No, 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 no. I mean, that's not how it's done. I mean, as using the country that we model our democracy after. So until we actually slash that power to every spheres of society, there's no way we can get our election right. So that's why a person like Jega, now all hope will be everybody will look onto Jega, and as soon as he switch off the whatever, they say na glitch, and that's it. It should not be like that. The fact that all the 36 state governors we just assembled themselves, go visit president in his private house, sign a deal on our behalf, and it's a done deal, scary. We should worry about that. So to Mr. Dele Farotimi, I totally agree with you. We should all demand for electoral reform before 2027. But my question before you is, for what? What do we intend to achieve with that? If the system of getting a leader in Nigeria started with selection, then election. Now, if you don't understand what I mean by selection, every presidential candidate has to go to party primaries, to which 99% of the party primaries are always enfranchised to participate when they decide to use the delegates. So automatically they select who become the candidate of every party and they give us to elect. So it doesn't matter who elects. So if we don't have power to be in the selection process, when I mean we, at least the majority of the people, then it doesn't matter how we reform our electoral process at this point, it's still not going to serve the purpose. So instead of us coming together and force the system to change to reform the electoral process, no, we should demand for state sovereignty. Every state should be in charge of how they organize their election. Isn't that how, if there's anything to even learn from American election, is these two past election? In 2000, the Republican believed that the election was rigged. They say it was rigged, it was rigged, it was rigged, right? But they come fast forward to 2024, they make sure it never happens again. And it was easy for them to do that because all they needed to do was to be more vigilant, put more resources in every state to make sure they correct the mistake from every state. Because now state the elect president in America. So no matter how the gang, yes, we see the reason that the gang up within the Republican Party and select their president before they give it to the people to elect. But at least if you find some irregularities, you can practically trace it and correct it because there is actually components. And that is because you can challenge Texas to say, hey, I suspect some irregularity here, you need to adjust it. You can go to New York and tell them the same thing, persuade them, or whatever you want to do it, or just prove it to them that this is where things were wrong. So the same thing we have to do in Nigeria. So with the same way they reform the electoral election process. So what do they want? If a state, and those states cannot have its own power to say this is how it wants to select who becomes the president, then we are just working under, we are laboring for nothing. So, as much as I want to agree with Daily to me that electoral reform is necessary, I think what is the most important first is the systems that we are operating. So, it is not a coincidence that the political party have their roots from our constitution. It is the spirit of the 1999 constitution that gave birth to our political parties. So if the constitution is a work in progress, why don't we first start from there? If the only way to get the states, every state to have its own sovereignty, let's go there. Let's speak in unison in that regard, rather than starting from the top. After all, Buhari reformed the electoral process before 2023 election, and still we still lost. When I mean we, the people still lost. Well, as far 99% of the people don't have a say on how presidential candidates will emerge, what what chance do we have? to get the people's president one day? Pretty much zero. Now, if what Dele Farotimi had in mind is that we should call for a solo candidate, right? Anybody can decide to contest without going to parties. As good as that sounds, there's no way, there's no way a system that is rooted, that has a foundation, so as far as I'm concerned, built on money, that you think a solo candidate can beat an established institution to the game. If it never happened for America, I don't know how it could happen for Nigeria. Hey, there's nothing wrong in trying. But again, you see, boy down to the states. So Nigeria is the way it's structured is now a structure not to work for the majority. Now, the idea of exclusive list does that even make sense to anybody? And you now ask yourself why government had to sit down on the exclusive list. It is because the resources is not under our control. It has been mortgaged. So the people where the mortgage to, now them they determine how much get exploited. So in order for them to control that, they have to put it under one single person, which is under the presidency. Take a walk. It's a beautiful day out, even though it's cloudy. So a system whereby we are not in control of the parties, we don't control any political party, and you think that election, reforming the electoral process, will get us anywhere. Especially whereby the people where one where who have the power as it is now to reform the electoral process are the beneficiaries of this process. So how do you think, no matter the reform that I will carry out, it will put them at a disadvantage? Doesn't work like that. So until we break it down, we break the process of governance down, we are not going to get anywhere. Just imagine the small window that they open. What I mean by that, giving local government autonomy, their money direct. You see, up to now, it's still a problem, right? So if the same states get the autonomy, who born governor where go say he wants to sit down for local government? In the governor they create, now he get himself. That is not be even if we even choose to say we won't get governor, as has always played joke with. If we decide to say in those states we want to put the governance structure in Oba's hand, Saturday Avenue should be a workshop. When I mean workshop, literally a workshop. If you're a commissioner of work, you should be there those who are literally doing the work should be coming to the every dissatisfying how things are getting done. When anybody saying that executive.
Morning, man.
Morning,
How are
morning.
you?
Pretty good. Yes.
Assembly. May we now invite our distinguished president, a man of focus, a man who loves the National Assembly, the one that will support you to support your constituents, to now present the 2025 budget. On your mandate, we shall stand. On your mandate, we shall stand. On your mandate, on your mandate, on your mandate, we shall stand. Oh, yeah. Shall stand. On your mandate, on your mandate, on your mandate, we shall stand.
Thank you very much. Thank you. After listening to this great remark of a great mind, colleague, and the president of the Senate, I feel I could have slay the budget. Oh. With your rendition of the mandate support, I can't do otherwise. I must but respect you
I get lyrics from out.
and go through the exercise of reading. It is a great honor and pleasure for me to be back where I started. As once a member of this respected house of thinkers and doers, I am grateful to be your president. And to be here to see so many faces of my friends, colleagues, and compared.
Welcome. So, as I said from the beginning, this is pretty much a response to Dele Parotimi's earlier message. If you haven't listened to Dele Parotimi's Sunday's message, go. I will allow you to go. Go to listen to about 35 minutes message, but it's centered on collectiveness, collectivity, the need for us to come together and speak in one accord with a specific purpose, which is to demand for electoral reform way ahead of time before 2027 election. And I say, as good as that sounds, What is that going to give us? What is the point? What's going to be the outcome? Reforming a process that we are not in control of. I don't know how that's supposed to work, because we are literally in a system whereby the system starts with selection before election. What do I mean? Party primaries is selection. Only a few people are allowed to take part in the process. So that's why, at times, I define democracy as a game of the majority, but with a caveat. It's a game of majority of, or it's a game of amount of people who are allowed to participate. Democracy is a game of numbers of amount of people who are allowed to participate. What do I mean by that? In the Nigerian context, at the end of all the only 30 to 40 million people would be allowed to participate in the process. And I use the word allowed deliberately because every other person that is supposed to participate and refused to participate or could not participate, they were disfranchised by one rules, law, or the other. But again, then if you not narrow it to the parties, only few people are allowed to take part in the primary selection or election of the candidate. Not everybody in the party. But most importantly, if you don't belong to a political party, you have lost the right to even be among those that will select or elect the president at the beginning. So the whole system is rigged. It's rigged against the majority, even though it's the game of majority. So yes, electoral reform is part of the whole process of democracy. But we need to achieve at least 51% of the democratic process first. So a situation whereby a state have no right or how to select who governs them, I think it for me is just there to start from. The power of the president is scary because of the way the system is structured. Even the America who would follow, they're not fit try am. Indian as big as it is, they're not fit try am. It has to start from the little company, my society. If I'm hungry, whatever that happens to me, whatever that I want, start from my immediate community. My survival depends on where I dey physically located. That's where my survival is. First thing first is that my immediate environment. Then outside becomes secondary. But in our own case, it is the other way around. All of us, for one reason or the other, I don't know how they do it, but they have succeeded in engraving into our subconsciousness that Abuja may be our problem. Now, I agree with you that those that actually see like that, if you look at how the structure is set, as I say, in the system, not necessarily the electoral process. Now, we need to fix first. So there's a reason why so-called leaders or elites every day they find out one way or the other to tell us that we need restructuring. Restructuring. Yes, some people restructuring. They never tell us, okay, no one ever say we should go for the ultimate, which is state sovereignty. Where the restructuring starts with giving every state its own autonomy. Now, some people say, oh, they ask for resource control, and now that is a trigger word. There's a reason they narrow it to a resource control because it will trigger a lot of emotion, a lot of argument. What about those people who don't get resources? What becomes of them? How that? All those nonsense. As if countries and states will not get resources when they survive for other parts of the world. All of a sudden, those states will be survived without say because they don't get oil. So there's a reason why the media always phrase the argument or the debate from that narrow prison, resource control. No. Especially where we have a situation where one section of the country has already made it clear from the onset that no, we ain't fucking with you people, we want to go. And they have the reason solidly why they want to. Alright? So they will always want to phrase debate and conversation in a way that it can easily play into our emotions. Deep down, they know that our state control. States need to be on its own, especially with the uniqueness of our own states in Nigeria. Pretty much every state has its own language. Literally, every state speak every state in terms of language. Every state stand their own. Even the regions that speak one language, even the southeast, for instance, that speak one language, I am 100% sure if they say make every state in the southeast you speak their own unique language, it will happen without even stress. The same thing with the southwest, the same thing with the north. The south one are easy. I'm saying that to say that the structure is already before the visitors, the August visitor visited us. That is how our people they live. That's how human being ought to have it. That's how we human used to live before this adventure of a nation state, which pretty much come into existence in 16th century, 14th century itself, when nation state starts. Now, group of people they stay small, tribe by tribe, everywhere around. That's the only way. If a population only become more than 250, it's becoming too much. But now, thanks to the advent of technology and other kind of things, yes, you can literally put X million of amount of people in one location. Fine. But how effective is that if you want to put everybody to one rules? Now, giving every state its own sovereignty doesn't mean now everybody that's in 36 countries say we no go believe in Nigeria again. No. There are some things that we have to bring us together in terms of security, international relations, finance, and all that kind of stuff, health and shit. But outside all this, I don't need a Delta person contribution or whatever. We can run things together, but why do I have to, that my survival has to depend on how much come from every other part of the country? There are so many questions we should be asking ourselves first before jumping to say electoral reform. Now, them going for the electoral, but reforming an election that has a structure, has a spirit rooted in the constitution that means everybody disagree with in the first place. So when they tell us the president is the most powerful president, and they give us the reason why, because it's pretty much direct in charge of all the other states, and we still don't see anything wrong with that, and now we should go against it. For instance, we think we can work within these 4 hours and still win. A lie. We know if we win like this. We have to fight to break the system first. Then we can even talk about where we want to do election together. So I totally agree with Dele Farrow to me that collective voice is the way forward. There is no hero that is going to come from anywhere. Yeah, they always talk. It doesn't matter what you know or what you have. No single individual bring freedom to people. Doesn't matter who you are, how they want to try to paint a picture and a lie. Yes, they might build a story around one person to make it as if yes, but that's not how it works. And that's exactly what Dele Farrow was trying to preach today by using himself as an example. That is how today is not because of his special, but it's because I spoke, you spoke, and we spoke in one direction. And the rest, they say, is history. So he's saying that the only way out, the only chance we stand, is for trying to replicate it nationwide. We have to speak in one accord, not just speaking up, act in one accord. And this time around, he's suggesting we should demand for electoral reform. And I'm saying electoral reform will not get us anything different from what we have now. I mean, the result of any electoral reform is not going to be different from 2023 results. After all, there was an electoral reform before 2023, and the result was not different from 2007. Until I do man go wake up, doesn't care about what happened in Abuja, unless if it has to do with foreign relations, with the getting external threats and all that kind of nothing. How he or she should survive or live his or her life should be determined by the people he or she live with in that Edo state. Should not depend on what the man is there to have to agree on in terms of how he or she will see it. Now we can disagree and agree and debate on what kind of military we should have, what kind of security system we should have at the federal level, what kind of monetary policy we have, what kind of which country we should deal with, and all that kind of stuff. That's of course. If we have that kind of argument on here, the bigger scale is better. But how I should exploit my immediate environment, how I should build it, the kind of government I should have, the kind of legal framework I should have, the kind of laws I should put in place. That should just be between me and my Edo people. The same thing should be between the Kanuri man and the Borno people. The same thing with the In that we will live in peace. Then the competition begins. Anything short of that, wanna reform the electoral process all you want. It's not going to bring anything different than what we have now. If it is an independent candidate can win election, will be for win because Obi is pretty much an independent candidate in this last election. So I don't understand how people they think say you can beat an established structure and system that has its roots rooted and among the world powers. People don't understand that all the shenanigans that happened in the 60s up to 1978, I mean not 79, Obasanjo finally, all was to get up to the point that we are today, to have an institute, to have a system like this in place, a presidential system that is easily and directly controlled by money. So before you think of say, oh, na Igbo carry out civil war, why? Not because Igbo people want to do civil war. If you believe that is it, may God help you. The subsequent coup that followed too, or before, now them too. One of the fundamental change that happened, all this process, is changing from regional system of governance to presidential system. Now only us never act. Now when I mean us, I'm talking about now the intellectuals, right? The elites among us. At this time around, I will use that word elite loosely. The educated ones, those that understand 1, 2, 3, we know how to reason, we know what in government be and all that. The fact that they could not see why countries who call themselves world power today, their system of government different from each other. There's a reason why. There's a reason why as soon as the United States, the 13 colonies came together and kicked the British Empire out, they followed straight by making sure they did not follow their system of governance. Because that's the only, if you follow their system of governance, you are actually leaving the world hoping for them to come and do and do because they understand it better than you. Now them better. They practice it for hundreds of years. So the same thing. So if you now look at it from that prism, you understand that the same British people we get quote unquote independence from. And they leave us with what? The system of government that they have perfected. Again, guess what? When America assumed mantles of leadership to claim themselves as the hegemony of the world, they have to do what? Collect all the colonies from Britain and again do what? Change it to the system of government. They understand. I mean, you cannot blame them. That's the same thing you would do. And again, not to those people who are saying China are nice, China are good people. They are not interfering with your government. They are not interfering with your way of life. They just want to invest in the physical infrastructure, make their money, and go. Yes, you are spot on. You know why? Because that's all they can do for now. they take a step other than that, they are asking for more than they can chew, which is already happening because that territory that they are physically investing in, people were already there. When I mean people, another power was there before you. And in this case, America is already in Nigeria. It doesn't matter your physical structure investment, the owner and controller of that territory is still the United States. But until China, imagine China win this Cold War and assume the world power as the hegemony of the world. What do you think is going to happen to you? They will force you, they will beat you to change the system of government. They will understand. In other words, they will begin to tell you the debt capitalism is dead with the America losing the number one spot. So that's how the Chinese will say. And as soon they will say it's dead, the next system now is whatever they call their system. That's what everybody must practice, unless you can resist them. So if we stand a chance to free ourselves at all, is first of all, break the power that we have now, allow every state to have its control of how it is, and before you know, states will begin revolt collectively. And before you know, you will send the power that be into confusion. You say you have to confuse your enemy. Minister, you got it wrong. They say, what is it? Daily parrot to me say you should start saying good morning in the new Nigeria. Abi? So good morning, fellow countrymen and women. Good morning in the new Nigeria. That's what you will say. So, Minister, what's your take? Do you think putting electoral reform ahead of the structural reform, when I mean structural reform, the democracy still have to push down because now small small that they release now, they allow us get dividends of democracy, small small abi, they go through. So should we go for that collectively and demand for state sovereignty first before the electoral reform, or you subscribe to what the later RTM is asking for? Because his idea is what the power that be wanted. We could reform the electoral process small by little. Pretty much every president can go adjust one thing small that will allow him stay in power or win the next election. Because because the next stage of this structure, this monster that they are building, is to solidify the two party system. That's the next stage. That's what they are building. Right? They are trying to make sure they have established political party. Now, I know part of the thing the Labour Party is calling for is individual candidacy. Fine, they will give you that, but when they have a very strong two political party, it doesn't matter who you is as an individual candidate, you can never win. So, in order for us to get ahead of the curve, while they are busy working to strengthen the two political party system, our energy should be towards it should be every state should have its own way to govern itself. So that other political parties will even get safe for the local level. Now you say electoral reform itself means nothing until we have man and women of integrity who are willing to enforce the law. Uh I don't now when you mean man and woman who can of integrity. Now, what do you mean? Let me come like that, because this idea of man good, man with integrity, I don't know. I don't fall for that. Because the human being that I know is good, is sweet, and is evil at the same time. It all depends on what he or she is confronted with. Okay? So for me, enforcing the law has nothing to do with man. It has nothing to do with people. Enforcing the law has to still do with what Dele Faris is talking about, collectiveness. If me and you come together and say this law has to be implemented, it will. Now, if a strong individual, there's a reason why you cannot have strong men and women with integrity, because no matter how your integrity is strong, the system will break you. Especially the Nigerian system that is still very straight. Anybody where they flex message for local government is because he has connection in Abuja. Anybody that is flexing, so the idea of integrity, the individual that has integrity, you cannot beat the system. We should understand now we are not fighting individuals again. We are fighting a system that is no longer controlled by individuals. So that's another thing. We are fighting a system that is not even controlled, longer controlled by individual, but by what? Corporation. Now, you live in America, you understand what I mean and how dangerous that is. How do you fight a corporation? The people who will allow themselves to be easily manipulated through blackmail. See, that's another thing, Minister. Everybody has a price. So the idea that somebody is easily manipulated, again, we deceive ourselves. The only person that cannot be manipulated is a man or a woman that have a wall behind me, a wall of people, which is what Dele Faris is talking about. Because you spoke, man of president, I say man of president, minister, but today I did so. If I know, say, Nigerians will die for me, right? I'm just using an example. Do you think anybody go fit deceive me? What they won't give me? The billions wey they won't give me, no be Nigerians that go enjoy them with. If the Nigerians are not fucking with me, how would that also? If we don't build a society that can speak and stand collectively, we will never have that man or woman who can stand a system that is not controlled by a man or woman, but by a corporation. I don't know if I'm preaching. The law cannot implement itself. We need patriots who can enforce. No, we need community that can enforce the law. I get what you are saying. Law does not implement itself, but we are at a time whereby the idea of a strong man will force something to happen is gone. We need a community. If the people of Kano stand, right, and said the former governor of Kano thief 1 million and he has to be tried and sent to jail, I don't think anybody can stop it. If the people of Kano, but if Konkosoya stand, even though that there be majority in Kano, say that the former governor should be tried, people will come out and see it as a partisan, so it might not work. If PDP stand, if the central mosques of Kano stand, it might not work. If the palace stand, it might not work. But if the people of Kano stand, it will work. So a strong man or woman can only be born out of collective conscience of the people, out of the togetherness, right? Rosa, people will tell you, say Rosa Parks has the guts to sit down behind the bus, not to move, because she know that there is a community who are there. Yeah, that's the hope. That's what we are missing. That's what we are missing, and that's exactly what Daily Faro TV is saying. I am free today. I am not just free. I am not a threat today because you spoke. He did not say uh, because well, Showore spoke alone. He did not say because Afenifere. No, he said because you, everybody, both the Afenifere, both the Showore take it back, both the obedience, both those that he believed that don't fuck with him, that he always used as a punching bag, they all speak together because what? They saw something that they can relate with. My brother, there's no power more than that. And that's what the system are scared of. The system are not scared of Dele Farotimi because of his brilliancy, because of his oratory, because of his audacity. No. The system is scared of Dele Farotimi because of me and you, which is the wall. Now we be bulletproof. They know if they do anything to him, they will have to deal with millions of other people. And that is not the adventure that the elite likes to engage themselves in, because it's a waste of their time and their resources. And if you study the Federalist paper, which pretty much is the foundation of the American Constitution, that was the argument they had. The likes of Anthony Hamilton, James Madison, John Doe, and the rest of them. That was the argument. James Madison said yes, that he believed an average man is an angel, can be good, can do excellently good, naturally good. But at the same time, that same angel, that same man, has in him what it takes to be the most dangerous human being on the planet Earth, has to do evil. Now the same power, nine did that same him. But he said, in order for we, everybody, to be at ease with whoever we put forward, is to have a law that is blind. A law that is blind to your meekness, how good you are, how nice you are, how dangerous you are. But actually, that's why you see most of those laws came out the way they happened. Now dog they back. I know they fear because wall. There's wall between me and them. See? These are three, I mean are four dogs. Only the one go away like me. But he's scared because there's a wall. So that wall, I'm good is not written on it. I'm evil is not written on it. They are just here for one reason. You can't touch this motherfucker. You have to go through us first. So I agree we need men and women of character. But what that women and men of character, what is the insurance? What is the assurance? We the people should be their what? Assurance that cover them. The assurance should not just be so they are nice people. They are no. They have good character. They have uprightness. No. The assurance is that that guy is acting right because he knows there's armies of one voice watching. That leader is doing good because he's a nice person. I don't want to hear that. I don't like that. You are not if you are spending your resources, you are spending your own money to do public good, right? That's a different thing. But if you are just say, hey, you go there and supervise how our resources should be distributed, I don't want to know if you are good. I don't want to know if you are a man or a woman. I don't want to know if you go to college or not. I don't want to know if you can speak English or I don't want to know all that. I want to know that. Do what we said you should do. And if you fall short of that, this is what is going to happen to you. Nobody will save you, no matter how nice they think you are, no matter how devilish you think. No, regardless of who you serve, that's what's going to happen. So it's that time we move towards people's approach. Law is not strong unless the people are ready to defend the law. If the people are ready to implement the law, to defend the law will work. But we are expecting people to carry out the law. We are expecting one person to come and enforce the law. No, that person is a human being. That person is a human being. I know how to get am. You know, like money, I know, but don't worry. I know the price. So, anyway, that's how I see things. Very practical, man. You just say, you fuck around, you find out. Now, it depends on how much you fuck around and how much you're going to find out. So, unfortunately, we are a conquered people. And the easiest way they conquer us is by infatuating us and target all our so-called upright people. They kill all our upright people, all our nationalists, all our leaders who don't want to go with them. They take them out one at a time. Why do we want to go that route all over again? Right? Why don't we build a system whereby if you take the leader out, it doesn't matter. God bless you. Go to, politically speaking, take the leaders of whoever is in charge in Saudi Arabia, take him out. Done nothing. I mean, Iran, the president of Iran was killed. A lot of people some of their leaders was killed, but guess what? Doesn't really matter. Because they build a structure, because they understand how the world works. Right? The obedience, whether I like it, I mean, I'm saying the obedience, the what's it called? NSAS movement. Let them all leave them. They actually stood on one principle: we don't get leader. It was frustrating to a lot of people. That's the whole game. Don't make this easy for your opponents or your enemies to take advantage of easily. To Nigeria, the only thing that I've nowhere I know to Nigeria ever talk for the past 50 years I know to Nigeria. He said something that I just can't forget that. And maybe not because of the context he put and what we are talking about. He said if they use 50 naira, I mean just putting numbers to it now, they defeat you, they break into your house, they do whatever. Make sure the next time it costs them 100, it costs them 150. So that's the whole point. I think that's the brain behind the insights that we not get leader. Right? It will take you time. Before you get our leader, you have to work. You have to find out who is he. And that is exactly how democracy, how power that operates within the democratic system work. It is no longer in the hand of one person. They were able to share it among themselves. Is if you go, the portion of the power is reside with the bankers, portion of the power is reside with the traditional rulers, portion of the power is also given to the street leaders, right? So they understand that, so you cannot stop it by just taking one out. So we, the people, that's how we should be thinking, especially we are coming from a place of defeat. We are a conquered people. That's why it's very important to go back and study our history, just to know what our people got right and got wrong. Right? So if we don't start thinking about collectiveness, cannot work. These leaders don't operate on. They don't give Bola Tinubu saying that because my no book pass. They've selected him because it's somebody who is ready to share. Because that's how I see him. He's ready to share. In other words, they will make him pass through. Sign here, sign here, sign there, sign there, and he's willing. When I did a look for persons that speak grammar pass, I would have sabi. And if these leaders or elites understand one thing, they understand that nothing in this world is brought to life by one single person. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what. Just look at yourself right now. Food where you dey chop, take collection of people to make sure you get to how you eat that. Shoe where you wear, food where, whatever you do, it is the collection of somebody from there, boo 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 boo, and bring them together. They understand that fact, and for that reason, they identify anyone, anyone who can fill a vacuum, no matter how little it is. If he's going to hate them, he gets what he wants. That's why you see the people like MC Oluomo are very important. Now we know understand their value, but it's important to the process, not just getting power, but to maintain power. I mean, today we dey see, tomorrow we are going to step into a new world entirely with the swearing in of Donald Trump. If there's anything at all, the process that got Donald Trump to where he is today, people, institution will study it for decades to come. For decades to come. Because it is the collection of interesting parties. I said interesting because you need to see the characters and the parties, their philosophy and view of life, and what is it for them. How diverse and strange these people are. But guess what? Because they have one thing in common. Our future depends on this. If we don't put our shenanigans together, we are going to lose bigly. Talking about the party that Elon Musk represents, the cloudalists, the next masters of mankind. If you want to go by Adam Smith, Wealth of Nation, the masters of mankind are those people who control the factors of production. Those people control the destiny of this world. They went from the landowners of agricultural revolution to the industrialists, capitalists are the industrialists, to the bankers, now the cloudalists. To understand it by using yourself as an African, as a person, the masters of mankind before are those that own the land. People who get land, those is what do they need? They need it for farming. Farmers, what do they need? They need your physical muscle. Hence, the transatlantic slavery. When the masters of mankind move to industrialists, those that own industries, move from agricultural revolution to industrial revolution, what they need you? They need your brain. Hence, the education system. They need you. They don't just need you in the farm anymore. They need you in the classroom to teach. They need you in the hospital room to do surgery. They need you in. Amazon warehouse to sort some stuff out. They need it. So it's all the same. Doesn't matter. The American class system will tell you that in order for you to differentiate who and who is to know who is taking order and who is giving the order. If you are still taking order, you are powerless. Elon Musk is still taking order. Hence, he has to run around and campaign. Even though he's the richest human being on the planet, but he's still taking order. Directly saying to those who say, now we get New York, we build New York, now we get America, now we build that. Of course, they brought you to come and build it. So you where they do the building and first way bring you who get power pass. I don't know why would they think backward. If was said it best, this place no be for you. Said it best. At first they bring you come work, they claim say now you build them. You dey mad? I bring you come when you come work, you can't claim, you can't claim. I'll be damned if you claim waiting I bring you for me you can't do. So now that power is moving from they don't need your physical body again. Your brain is not even necessary. Your brain is too slow. You know why? Because that's what they need now is just your attention. Because that thing where they use your body, they do so. Machine there where they do and pass you. That thing where they use your brain do so. Biotechnology don't mean artificial intelligence. They do it more than you. They reason faster than you. They produce faster than you. So fuck you. All we just need you now is to be obedient. Be obedient, stay in your house and on your phone. That's all I need. They need your attention. It doesn't matter where you reside, how you govern yourself. So that's where the cloudalists come in. How long can they keep your attention? How many people are we keeping their attention? Mike Ziegler was saying we get 2 billion that can hold their attention within every day. People don't understand that Elon Musk gets investment is not necessarily in Tesla, but X. So now the clouder brain be that. So though the likes of Elon Musk, the likes of Zuckerberg, Google, you name them, those are the masters of mankind now. So their view and philosophy of life is different from what? The deplorables, the MAGA base, who felt that they are hungry, literally. Not just that we are hungry, we can't even recognize our environment anymore, our home, our house, everything is strange. What's going on? Without necessarily knowing that. And those guys, the cloudalists, the masters of mankind that they are colliding with to get power, are pretty much directly responsible for how they feel right now. That's why I say it's an interesting marriage that brought as time goes on, we go to see. So are we talking about the journey? Because it's not just today. You have to go all the way to 1923. Or one we argue, you have to go to 1776 when the 30 colonies come together and say, you know what, this is our destiny now. 30 colonies. That's another way of actually seeing why we have to be collaborative. It has to be what the Electoral is talking about, speaking in one voice. 30 colonies. Up to today, they don't feel like themselves. And I'll tell you, there's a huge difference between North and South when it comes to America. The southern states and the northern states, there's a huge difference, just like in Nigeria. But they put their differences together. The racists in the southern Alabama and the so-called anti-racist man in North Dakota have to come together because they want one country, they want more wealth. So the idea of saying that one man, one strong woman, that the capitalist system is trying to drill into our subconsciousness is a setup. It's a freaking setup. Malami, if you doctor or you're teaching, I never. I don't get doctor. If I want, how many years they take get doctor? Say? Now, no be the real doctor wey dey talk so street doctor. Street doctor. I make ask Doctor Damage because Doctor Damage said in doctorship na street. Na for street you get in doctoral in doctorship. I mean na for street now. Make I say man ask how long it took am, how long it take am. Just like this morning, I enter 7-Eleven, man, I go buy coffee. As I dey pull up with my 2K, and these guys they pull up with Rolls Royce, Jeep, SUV. I say he come out, me they come out, high class, I smile, they smile as a bad guy. Older person, that guy should be in his either late 50 or so. I can't tell us as they come. Which one will get me this quicker? Working harder or just paying the due? Yeah, look me. Well, it took me a while. It took me a while. I got it. So, if I want to buy, I don't stay. I go ask Dr. Damage where my street credibility is enough to be called a doctor. So, so na power na color na we have to actually understand that we have, in order for us to free ourselves, we have to literally do opposite of what they want us to do. When I mean they, I'm talking about the system now because I'll tell you the Nigerian has gone, the system that they have put in place has gone from being under individual care, custody, now na corporation. And you know why I said that? Because the money involved in getting into public office, you don't dey pass individual money, and it's becoming a little bit difficult for you to just steal like that to run for office unless you are in a very strategic position and your connectivity within the system strong. If not, you no go fit take money like that to run for re-election again. So in other words, na system dey come in now. So the European power, the capitalist power build a system. So that's why if you look today, the easiest way for you to take note of that is to look at where then they fight, where all these East is the easiest way to see. They will tell you that there are a lot of foreign corporations that works there. You understand? It was easy to say now Bill Gates. No, 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 no. Now na company that they form, na corporation. If you go to Dangote board, you no go see anybody individual name under the board. You go dey hear this is unlimited, this is the New York Limited, this is the Abu Dhabi. It's all corporation. So that money is coming from corporation. You cannot trace it to individual again. Now, how do you fight corporation? And those corporations now in charge of the system. At the highest level, like America, now hedge funds. You go dey hear the BlackRock, right? Vanguard then. So we have to start reasoning just along that line. Collectiveness. Start going against their grind. A lot of people will quick to tell you how people like Modi of India was able to revolutionize them. But some of the things some of the strategies they use is to say no compliance. We know they work again. Every Indian say they know they work again because the whole country was taken over by the British businesses and companies. That's it. That's just the beginning of the computer system. Collectiveness. But how was he able to do that? He has gone to the rural Indian and embraced himself with them, teach them things, they work together, and he knows that they have his back. So let's go. So the idea, na me first, na me know and pass. And that's why you see, say, anytime when it comes to they follow the lies of obedience, they argue or they take it back. I'm always in my element. It's not about what you know. No single individual can fight the corruption that we have now because it's systematic. Where you want to start from? Where you want to start from? The entertainers are involved. It's so anywhere you look, you just have to go study the KGB during the Soviet Union. In every 5 people you see, there are 1 or 2 KGB among them, and no, you don't know them. Not to talk of today when we say na phone everybody gets. That's why they always vex when some people will call in the name of investigative journalists. Bola Tinubu na asset. This person na asset. Nigga, who they work for? The CIA no need that to go that far to get what they want in Nigeria. They own the fucking country. Who is not an asset should be the question. Is he the executive chairman of a bank? Who all of a sudden has a diplomatic flight ticket to any part of the European nation, can go into any government hands, and you think that is not an asset? Or a superstar in the name of a musician who all of a sudden is now MON, who is private jet, they know they scrutinize them like that, who can carry 2 billion naira, say he won't go New York in the name of say I am going there to perform, I have to pay my artists and all that. Who has all of a sudden can walk into any government house in Europe or in Africa in the name of say I be super artist? That one I know be asset. Under the sportsman, you know what say is the fastest man or woman has access to go all these people. Now I know be asset. I am telling you because I've been privileged enough to be close. I no go inside. Those are days that maybe I for no day outside. Who? Or is it the young advocate or the young social justice who they fly and go New York or Geneva in the name of social justice orientation or cause, or na the in the name of the most brilliant under 20, under 30, all of a sudden is a UN ambassador. Now he may be assets. Oh, we don't know how being an asset works again. So it's not about individual. You cannot be an asset in the first place. If you cannot be a president, a governor, be enjoying all this attention, if you are not an asset. So the point here is the days of looking out, say now that person, I know. We should be looking at institution at this point. When they call our military as machinery. I know they accuse them all, but sure they know more than an average Nigerian what the system is. For him to come out and say something like that, he knows something. And it's very simple to put together. How can a country that says it has a military for over 50 years cannot produce a bullet? Why? But again, who is not an asset when you have a media? In today, all you need to do is to go listen to Mark Zuckerberg. How he said the past 4 years, literally na CIA they run Facebook. Now I'm not being a conspiracy theorist. If I talk to people, they go say I don't know which I, this is not me. This is not even saying right now. Go there, go and listen to Joe Rogan. Before he appeared on Joe Rogan, he wrote pretty much a 300-page letter how he described how the role that has been playing by the CIA. No, my question is CIA dey inside Facebook? Or is it the Twitter file? Or na Arise they know dey? Abi na AIT they know dey? Oh, na Sahara reports na they know dey? So I'm saying this, when somebody they point you to an individual, suspect that person first. Because this is 2025. So not to say go too far is to connect it to what Dele Farotimi is saying. Because you spoke, it is not singing praises of one person. Then because of the money where this person spend, the argument where the Nigerians say because you Nigerians spoke. That's where I am free today. And he's advocating for that spirit to continue. That in order for us to get a good result 2027, we have to come together in one accord and demand for electoral reform. Excellent. I love that. But we should also understand that that is not going to get us anything. It's not going to get anything. Because we are subjected to a process, a system whereby it goes from selection to election. In other words, the political parties select candidates and they give us the majority to elect. It doesn't matter who you elect. He says Sahara is the most obvious, right? It's the most obvious because I don't know, so many reasons. Maybe because of the person who the owner uh, is polarized. Personality is kind of, I mean, politician. Anyway, maybe that's one reason. Two is because internet based. So many reasons. I agree with you, but at the same time, it's not. From my point of view, from where I'm seeing, it's as obvious as every other, especially the arise. I mean, okay, what this is another way of me why they see all these people. Once you are in my face, now when I say my face, you are always on TV. Not be saying you put yourself on TV that all this. When I mean you're always on TV, you are a newscaster, you are a news reporter, you are a you are a correspondent, you get your show for all this network television. You are always there in the face of the nation. I suspect you in the first place. Morning, how you doing? Yeah, yeah. So I suspect you in the first place once you are in that position. As, it is because you are good at propagating their their agenda. That's why you are there. Period. If you are serving the people, you will not be. I don't care. You are good at what you do. Nobody can take that away from you. But that's why they needed you in the first place, so that it will seem or look natural, and you do it passionately because it's what you love to do. I don't work out my water. So I just hope as time goes on, the party will break it down more. But I think he's done more than enough. Collectiveness. But collectiveness, shooting for one thing that is really not going to do anything, move us anywhere close to where we want. I don't know. I think if you put a caveat to it, let's demand for something that will cost them and that will cost us, but on the long run, we will say yes, the sacrifice worth it. Just like the civil rights movement. It destroyed the nomenclature of the United States of America. It was a pain process. But it's a different story now. Again, that is the work of collectiveness. So a little reform you will get, I'm pretty sure of that. If that's all you, if not the only thing we would ask for me that, how easy to give now. To reform the electoral process, I swear to God, easy. They will just make us work out for it. All I mean, they will stretch us to now. Waiting will come day now. I don't know, man. If I even support this idea because now just idea then give now just work then give us so forget every other thing now. Electoral report. We go cry to for the next 6 months to a year. They go say okay, and before you know they go reform am, but it is too late for you to even understand the reform. What they do. That's exactly what they do. When would they announce when would they ask for electoral reform before 2023 election? Don't forget when Buhari finally signed that thing. He sat in his office for years. When he finally signed them, everybody called the hail am. We took time to the president say yes, he has done something for democracy. Before we know what this man even stand sef, they don't figure out another argument give us, which is what beaver go work, beaver no go work. That takes a very big, and they give us the victory. But they say, okay, now democracy with the practice Abi, the majority will have their way, while the minority will have their say. But most times they all do Ojoro, they will go with the minority voice, which is what they did with the electoral reform, with the beaver. With the majority win, beaver must be applied. But guess what? They say, okay, within the debate process, there are some people that say, come on, beavers no go work for their place. Maybe we can capitalize on that. When Gbege happen, everybody go, do. They say, go and look it. They said it. And I said, and they look at paper, they wrote it down. The man thought they come. Every which way now we go use. I'm paraphrasing. So we are all going to fall for what the party to me is calling for. We will begin to mobilize and organize to get our election reform. It will be reformed on the 11th hour, and before you know it, election will come. They will see do Ojoro. Then we will begin. We will go verse again. Now, if Bola Tinubu do Ojoro again 2027, you know why we no go to verse? Because we go say, okay, he go come out. He's not coming back again. We will make sure we vote and come out. Nigga, it's already going out. Same thing during Buhari. As soon as Buhari wins second term, everybody see they say Buhari for, and I say, come, what is they worry you now? This man is gone. It's not going, it's already gone. Leave her, focus on who they might be putting forward. No, people no agree. Say I be Fulani. Waiting. Until he then go out. Say, Baba don't go. No. Peter Obi's fan will be shocked to find out which alphabet organizations that viewed their hero as an asset. Look, they will be shocked. Well, I think that's the word. They will be shocked because most of them no need. They don't just want greed. They don't want greed. The guy na the same school. Now the same school, all of them they go. Now just na turn by turn they graduate. Obi na new intake. All of them. I mean, even the word asset self, I don't even know why even apply to Nigeria. Now they get Nigeria. I don't understand why they don't know Nigeria pass us. These are the people that put us together. They've been exploring that location for over 400 years. So the idea that one person has said, I don't understand. In this 2025, we be saying that for they go still they listen to waiting Tinubu they talk for Asu Rock. They listen to every fucking leader is being listened to from Pentagon. And Jalamu could confirm am. Even our own elder statesman from Lagos, former Senator Adeyeye, he talk am when they Harvard. They show am for a room for Lagos. They show am in room for Lagos in the Harvard, Massachusetts. So the idea say access self dey surprise me. There are gadgets everywhere. All the cars where they drive. No be Bola Tinubu go collect wetin dem call am Escalade. Na him build am. Was it made in Nigeria? They know wetin dem put inside the car. The Asu Rock that we occupy now, we build am. They know the devices they put. All the telephone, all our leaders use. Now we build them. That's the freedom I'm talking about. And why do you think the Chinese they're able to raise their ugly get up now? It's because they don't depend on America and all those things again. Their security has gone to the next level. They're able to develop their own technology. Everything they use, they build it themselves. So you cannot fuck with them like that. Instead, you should be scared now because you don't know what they know. So they listen to everybody get phone. They listen to you. Now you know you get you don't know the city. Now that's another thing. Oh, everybody they buy electric cars. They can switch off your electric. They can switch off your phone. So the idea is one person now access service fucking ridiculous. our leaders will like gadgets, will like toys, as they like their women. Our leaders like toys as they like their women. Toys they don't put. That's the whole point of you don't feed yourself. Not necessarily because of the food you should be the producer. Even the things that make you stay alive, no be you get them. The plane where you dey fly, Bola Tinubu go buy another private jet. All the chips where they inside, you know them. You know which one be, you know which one they listen to them. You know which one they watch them. The wife get gold and diamond that have been refined all across the world. And know which of those drum and diamond be cheap. They don't know which one of those ones be diamond get chips inside. Then they buy wig everywhere. They know which one cheap they inside. So everything that we surround ourselves with is a potential asset. No be only human as doctor, no be only human being is becoming useless by the day. All you need to do is to pay attention to the technology that is being developed. Is to make the average human being useless, not just to his or herself, but to the community at large. If the work wey you dey go do for office, robot dey do am, you come your house, the food wey you dey do, na everything is being computerized. Do you need a wife or husband? Do you need children? Do you need neighbor? Do you don't need anything? So you are becoming useless. So a situation where we have millions of useless people in Nigeria. So anytime I refer to useless generation, that's what I mean. So who need assets? Now they don't Elon Musk don't develop robots. Before you know now you go to see am for our rich people house. They go use am dey flex. They go first of all give am to celebrity first. Leader Ikeji get robots for house. You don't know the chips wey dey inside that robot. You don't know the information wey that robot dey collect. Your TV wey dey talk to you for house, your Amazon series, the gadgets wey you give your pikin for house, you don't know wetin dey inside. We are worrying about Tinubu being an asset as if we can do anything about it. So pay attention to people where they propagate things that doesn't really make sense. Who are they working for? In 2025, I'm not worried about an individual asset. I'm worrying about robots. I'm worrying about AI. I'm worrying about biotechnology. I ain't worrying about nuclear bomb or anything. I ain't worrying about nobody. I'm worried about the freaking latest development. Our leaders where they go plan meeting, how they go take over for London. The hotel where they sleep for London. Now them build them. They know what it is inside. So Nigerians, we should not be worried about individuals anymore. Those individuals are becoming powerless. All these men where they see so. Because they are nyash. All their record, they them Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg and the rest of their hand. We move to worry about them again. As far as I'm concerned. Let's just come together. Once we are in the same place, the party, fear will catch them. Because they go they fear waiting we know about them, wait themselves no know. That's the whole point of data. That's why America decided to settle with soft power cohesion. They know they invade country with guns and bullets again like the British people did. They have masterminded the information revolution and they release them little by little. They started by radio, then dominate, started by enter TV. So they understand. All they need to do is to inflate your society and just cause confusion. Only when I go elect who they want. Easy. I go elect who they want. So I'm not worrying about individual being an asset. I'm worrying about the latest technology and cooperation. A corporation, they have power, they get money, they are connected. A constitution that was given to you to implement, you say you they look for assets. Country will be saying and negotiate, you negotiate. What was the agreement? I've always said this that if you don't get power, anything where you get now give them give you. People don't understand what I mean by that. That's the way give you something. You don't know why he give you. If he tell you say, oh, I love you, I like you, you are the best, I hear you like free. Of course, that's what he tell you be that. You don't know why a person give you. Right? So when America, after the Second World War, tell the British, the French, the Italians and everybody, go and free thy people. We don't know what them want. Go free thy people so we can come and organize them to how we want it. Because we say so. Because we have the power now. Or you want to say otherwise? We fuck you up right there now. That's what give us our freedom. So the Americans that give us our footed British to let us go because they can afford to say that. What did happen? Less than 3 years later, I mean 3 years later, 6 years later, they say when we say free thy people, we mean free thy fucking people. We will not set government for them. No worry, we will arrange the government. They say we don't want British government. Let's set up our own. We no one agree. Oh yeah, my boys, those military boys where we train for London, where we train for Texas, where we train for Congo. Those are our boys where we train, where they go start for Libya. Oh yeah, give them assignment. Go tell all those useless men where we are about that they say their time is up. Get the fuck out. Don't worry, go, we tell you what next. Hence, the coup. It happened that people who carry out the coup, majority of them happen to be from a decent place. And again, do you trust the people, the external force that said, go and do that coup? Do you think they don't know that at the end of the day, it will be easy to blame it on this side of people? Because the narrative has to be sold at the end of the day. Carry out that coup and it's done. It turned out ugly. Revenge was carried out too. The revenge was unbearable, just like what is happening in Gaza, right? The Hamas went into Israel and commit horrible atrocities. But guess what? Up to today, we see they beg Israel, may they forgive them. Right? That's exactly what happened. That's what led to civil war. The revenge was unbearable. These people say, well, it's as if we will never be forgiven. Hey, I don't blame them. For that reason, we can't be subject to this kind of humiliation. We gotta go. Alright? Then the power that be say, come on, Black say there's a problem in one of those small colonies. So there's a problem. Oh. What's the problem, sir? Sir, there's some part of the country say they want to go. And you know that's how that will affect our business. But most importantly, if we let that happen, we will see some ugly head say from another place raise up their head and say they won't go. But most importantly, if they leave, they feel go join allegiance with our enemy. Oh. What do we do, sir? They say, hold on. How is the other side first? How is the Nigerian people? Do you think they can win? They will defeat these people. What do you think? Oga, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they feel win like that. They don't go feel win like that. So, so what do we do? Oga, we don't do this thing before now. People will raise up their ugly eggs, say they want free themselves. What do we do them? What do you mean? Hey, Ite! Remember those their elder brothers them? We learn from us. We take their destiny into their hands, say they want free themselves, and they did free themselves, and after they free themselves, they become very prosperous, become one of the most prosperous colonies in the world. As at that time, 50% of British GDP was coming from Haiti. Oh my God. No, this can never happen. Before you know, you go see all these Japanese people, all these Ethiopian people, all these Argentina, they go say they won't do this. No. Descend on it, finish them off. Today they never get. So the same thing, let's allow them. They're not going to feel win, Abi. The Nigerians not going to feel. What about the British, the Biafran side? They want to say, oh, well, they don't get support from France now, Liberia, and before you know, the Soviet Union go join them. No, we know we allow that to go control. How do we control them? We go starve them now. They craze. We chop now, they fight. That's it. They begin to starve people. So, what is your point? So, make sure they strip everything that has to remind them of British is destroyed and erase their own structure, which is democracy, presidential system. So, after the Civil War, some people lose. Guess what? They continue. The man who continued after the Civil War was a Babajaja, slowing to put the country together in a democratic system. He still allow the regions, they raise their ugly head. The regions are, if you manage the region, talking about Gawan. I say, so what do we do? Man, that guy got to go. He has to go. Boom. And then say my uncle Gawan make you go meet him for VSF. As the meeting they go, now they tell us they come, Papa, you don't go office again. No. Just like that. Now so. And then, who was that person? Muritala. Muritala too, they slow. If I'm not, what's Muritala now? I check my date right. Make I be say, Muritala take over from, let me see, more than a verse. Make I ask my assistant. Muritala take over from Governor. Muritala. Muritala, Mohamedu. Took over from who? Governor, life. So, now, if you study the Murtala short-lived government, is that you understand that it was at the heat of the civil Cold War. So Murtala self, see they draw left for ground, is not trying to implement the constitution that we implement the one system organ, which is the presidential system. They draw left for ground. He was still fucking around with the Soviet Union. Even when, not be Jimmy Carter, who was the president at that time that invited Murtala Mohammed to, the guy refused. Now, that is a staunch nationalist. Hate him or love him. But what happened to him? Ìyanu Ọlọ́run mi o. Ìyanu Ọlọ́run mi. Ìyanu Ọlọ́run mi, ayérayé. Oh, they finished the guy. Assassinate the bastard. Excuse my language. I am not insulting him, but I'm at the verse. The people will kill him. That's what they felt. The guy is a stopping block. They arranged again. Take him out. Who took over again? Let me go back to my personal assistant and see who took over from Gowan, from Murtola, where they kill him. Who took over from Murtola? Wait. Yeah, who took over from Murtola? I want to carry all of us along. Go. Those who they listen. Please, if you are listening, like, share, and subscribe. Who took over from Murtola? Olúṣẹ́gun bàbá ṣẹ̀gẹ́ àtàfúnyẹ̀ ah bàbá ṣẹ̀gẹ́. People dey talk of assets. Who is more asset than that motherfucker? That guy right there. Number one asset for Africa. Those wey dey say who believe in assets. That's the right guy right there. When Murtola dey drag leg for ground, he still fucking around with the Soviet Union. They take him out. Baba Shege took over. What did he do? Anybody should remind me. He gave us the constitution that everybody agrees. Our problem today, more than me, everybody. Daily politics. Una remember that guy wey come Dr. Dameji, the Yanak party, the president. So when I tell am, so Obasanjo is the alpha and omega of today Nigeria. If it is good, give him credit. If it is suffer, give him credit. He is the one that finalized what took almost 20 years. What took a coup? How many assassinations? How many million died in the Civil War? For us to arrive at what presidential system? Now, if anybody they tell you that Igbo people carry out coup and they could not tell you what was happening at that time, don't listen to that person. And that's why I said you will never hear. I'm not saying what I'm saying is the truth. Go do your own work, go do your own research. But what I believe in, you will never hear the detailed truth of what actually happened between or what led us to our notion of independence through the Civil War until today. We never understand until people who are in charge now all die and leave us in the next 50 years, because those are the people who are still in charge. So whenever I said the same men that fought the Civil War, gave us our constitution, gave us our political parties, are still here with us, that's exactly what I mean. So it doesn't matter how many reforms you carry out in the electoral process, it ain't going to get you no fucking where. Excuse my Yoruba. So there is, it's a story. So when you see Obasanjo so moving around, trying to protect his baby, you know why. So he is the father of today democracy. So after he took over Murtala, he implemented what the Americans want, which fall into what they call the League of Nations. When he implemented that, what did he do? He passed the baton to what? A civilian elected president. Shagari. That is the credit. So even when the nationalists among the military, I'm talking about people like them, Babangida, people like them, well, you can put Babangida aside, people like them, Buhari's, the Buhari of yesterday, not today, the Buhari's, the Abachas. When they come up with coup again, it was because they disagree with the constitution and the presidential system that America imposed on them. That's why they took Shagari out. But it never last now. We know what's happened after that time. Buhari again. Now, Buhari was overthrown and bringing what? Babangida. That's why people wait for Babangida. Babangida too is part of the assets. That's why he was still alive today. So when Babangida took over, he rode as long as he could. He was still dragging leg. He was doing well, building all those infrastructure, tell me Lambridge and go. But see, that is not what the American system wants. No, we don't want somebody in Agbada. That is not the good face of democracy that we are trying to promote. We don't give a fuck what he's doing for his people or what he's not doing. He got to go.
Hence, you see, election had to be organized 1992, which was ushering MK Abiola. But guess what? The nationalists among the Nigerians elite again say no, Abiola na assets. It cannot be. He cannot stand. They took him out. Now the power that be saying, all these guys think we are fucking around though. Go and give that guy apple to eat. I'm just putting that one for the fun of it. Took Abacha out. Are you guys going to organize an election or we just begin to kill now one by one? Abdul Salam say, no worry, I will do elections. I will do election. I will do election. Maybe election now what? I will do election. No worry. And when that election was taking place, who did they trust to come and put things in the right place? The person who understands the game. No other person. Oh, the person they inside prison. Go get that motherfucker out. Who cares? That's Obasanjo, the coming back of 1998. And here we are today. So, when we not listen to Daklan, or whatever, what be that guy name on Dr. Damage last weekend, when he talk, say, when Tunaja asked him about the coup that is happening within the Sahel, he said, leave them, they are just having fun, and they are trying to show other people say you. But give them 5 years, they will start having problems. What is the problem? Organize the election and get the fuck out. Or we took care of you. That's exactly what he's talking about. So, our story, it connects. You just have to know how the world, how these people where they in power now, how they operate. Once you understand how they operate, you will have you know go reverse like that. You know go reverse. So again, based on the words our man, one of the messenger they talk, which is delivered to me, working together in one accord. And I'm saying it's a good thing, but if his aim is to get individual candidacy on the picture, I'm sorry, it's not going to change anything. Oh my God. Onye na-eme mmadụkwala ọzọ. Onye na-eme mmadụkwala ọzọ.
Well, for me, I think President Tinubu is coming there. I mean, Rome was not built in a day. We are just battling with the insurgents in our area, and gradually we are coming up. And as we are coming up, we will now start thinking on the next step. Once we calm down the insurgents of banditry and unknown gunmen and all the rest of them, we will be able, the president and his team and all of us will advise him to open the chapter 2 of the book. And the chapter 2 will be development. Once you have no insurgents, you have no unknown gunmen, and you don't have any disturbances about our people, and we will talk page 2 of development. We have always, people will say, we have always asked the president, according to law, find the best way of law to address the issue of Southeast, both the issue of the IPOP, the issue of everybody, to address this within the context of law of Nigeria, so that possibly very quickly Nnamdi Kanu will be released from prisons, and we will continue to live a better life and produce everything. Let me be honest with you. Nigerians are suffering because of the problem we're having in the Southeast. The Southeast can produce everything you buy in China. We can make them in Aba, Newe, and Onitsha. Everything you buy from China. Just give us electricity, give us the way that with it, and give us the direction. We produce everything that you produce in China. The technologies are there, everything, we have it, but we need a better atmosphere. We need to clean away properly in agreement the sit at home, which has cost hundreds of billions of naira out of the Southeast. We need to bring back the I can do it spirit. We need to sing back aging by aging. We need to go back to what we know how to do. When I was governor, a lot of things were being manufactured in Aba. People have begged Aba people to stop putting
Assembly. But we now invite our distinguished president, a man of focus, a man who loves the National Assembly, the one that will support you to support your constituents, to now present the 2025 budget. On your mandate we shall stand. On your mandate, on your mandate, on your mandate we shall stand.
We shall stand. Mandate shall stand.
On your
On your
mandate,
mandate,
on your mandate,
on your mandate, on your mandate we shall stand.
Thank you very much. Thank you. After listening to this great remark of a great mind, colleague, and the president of the Senate, I feel I could have just lay the budget. Go. With your rendition of the mandate support, I can't do otherwise. I must but respect you and go through the exercise of reading. It is a great honor and pleasure for me to be back where I started. As once a member of this respected house of thinkers and doers, I am grateful to be your president. And to be here to see so many faces of my friends, colleagues, and competitors.
Colleagues, it's a network of colleagues. Who's your colleagues? The Electoral means that we should work in the spirit of colleagues. So, can the colleagues here, Jama, Let's see who are the beautiful people out there. Yes, sir. What is we talking about again? If you never listen to Dele Faro to me, you are free to go and do the comeback. I'll be here. I dey wait. I think there's a need for us to take him serious. And so the effort to me started by saying, I think the topic was because you spoke. It's important to actually, say in a grammarian, you understand way better. And he explained why he started that statement with because it's a conjunction words according to him, and he conjoined every individual out there with the struggle. So that was the understanding there that he's not free today because he's special, because he's a Yoruba man, because he's a lawyer, because he's more educated or whatever. But he's free today because we spoke. He emphasizing on the collectiveness that if we come together in unison, in one voice, we stand a chance. And of course, I totally agree with him. But it was a call, what he called us to organize around is what I think can be revisited. This is why I started giving us history of how we get to where we are in terms of our leadership. That it is the system that we are operating on now. It takes time for them to build up. Sacrifices were made to go from the amalgamation of North and South. That takes a lot because it wasn't easy for them to be able to achieve that because there is a lot of forces that don't fuck with that. I don't really agree with that. Nobody's talking about that side of the argument because they lost. Then a lot of sacrifices were made for them to force us to agree, which is the negotiation process, to agree to live together within the North and South under one entity called Nigeria. A lot of sacrifice were also made from both the side that were forcing it to happen and those who are resisting it. Again, we will never hear the other side of the story because they lost. Now, from that process of negotiating for our independence, which we finally settled for what? Regional system of governance. But of course, those people who architect this regional system of government, they lost power. I'm talking about the external force now, which is the British. They lost power overwhelmingly to the Americans. Now, when the Americans take over the colony, they have to implement the system that they can literally control, which is the presidential system. Again, to go from regional system of government to presidential system, a lot of sacrifice was made. Sacrifice like assassination, coup, civil war. It's all in the process of what? Getting us from regional system to presidential system. And all you need to know is to study the actors that are involved. Then study what is was at play at that time. It is important because it's still at play today. And it kind of play into the conversation we had on Dr. Damage yesterday with Tunanja and I forget that guy's name. although it started from the tax. I wanted to actually name today's this conversation that the Bola Tinubu tax reform has its roots in the First World War. Because where we find ourselves today, to understand it crystal clear, you need to understand First World War. For you to actually appreciate World War One, you need to know the two events that happened leading to World War One. That is within the 1800s. Now the topic we are go talk about later on today be that. Hopefully, I say hopefully if I no go work or because I want to go, I want to be on Dr. Lamidi's show. I want to listen to that Obi guy. I think I met him in Harvard, Boston last year. I think so. I want to listen to that, see what's up. So that's why I say maybe. But yeah, I'll come. The idea is to give us, because literally tomorrow, we are stepping into a brand new world. Brand new world. World that is now under pretty much the control of Donald J. Trump, quote unquote. So he's going to be sworn into office tomorrow. And anywhere you day, if you are not privileged to be there live, I understand it's going to be very cold, so they're moving in. If you are not privileged to be there, if you are not in a position in any place to watch it live, come to my platform. I'll try. Because I want to. It's going to be a very significant day. I think if we can ask every president that come in American history, a lot of them will tell you they would like to be in position that Donald Trump is in today. As only those who were not, because they were presidents who were in this position before. President like James Monroe was in this position. Woodrow Wilson was in this position. William McKinley. People don't talk about that guy or like that's to do the late 1800 to early 1900 and become president. That's when they announced this Hawaii. That's when they announced Hawaii. That's where they took over Philippines. It was during McKinley. The Wige was in that position. I think that's pretty much it. Maybe Ronald Reagan was also in the position that Donald Trump in now. What position do I mean? The world is literally moving from another revolution to another. But most importantly, they are faced with the challenge they face at this junction, which is what the hegemony is in challenge. Somebody is trying to hit into their meal, and if you allow person to take a bite into your meal, only God know how many. If it's going to stop in that one, it might take 2 or 3. At the end of the day, they're going to finish each with journal. But now waiting then do with that. Alright? So they understand. So just that Donald Trump position is unique. He's facing an emerging empire that is confronting them from two phases. New technology and the economy. They never fight this kind of fight before. They've never been contended in this. So it's a different ball game inside. As I say, from tomorrow, when the President Donald J. Trump is sworn into office, pay attention to his speech. Pay attention to the first 100 executive order. I think the first 50 will be given the first day. Attention should be paid to those. And the first time he will be speaking to the Joint Congress of the United States. I think today they call it what? State of the Union. These three things should be very studied. It's going to be very important. They will determine how the world will be or not. Literally. That will determine what the next life, what the next generation that will come, how their life is going to look like. It's crazy. So they are up against that fight. Are they going to succumb to sharing the power? Because if you are the most powerful before, somebody can challenge you. Three things will happen to you. Either you challenge you to stand still, and if you stand still, two things will happen to you. Either on the long run you win, you go back up, or you go down. If you are coming down, God help you. You don't know where you go for reach. So that's where we are now. Chinese don't they come up. So America is saying, you know what? Yeah, that crush this guy, that stop them, crush them, or it's over for us. That's exactly where this that's so every so his speech is very important. We give you a guideline of what the framework of the administration will look like. The executive order will tell you where the fight is. Is it going to be militarily going forward or economically going forward? Because we are in that zone. Right? Then the next message that we give that we address the Electoral or the State of the Union will literally tell you where it stands. So that's why tomorrow in the history book, who are important, special, special. Sorry, maybe I'm not a multitasker. From past, let me see. I might have to just go and be back later. Let's see. Where was I? Alright, let's see. Maybe I still get a few more minutes. I still got a few more minutes to fuck around.
Mr. Chairman, Mark Eset is my name from Akwa Ibom State. Okay, point of order, Mr. Chairman. Am I recognized, Mr. Chairman? Thank you very much. I am from Akwa Ibom State. Mr. Chairman, I don't know if I'm the only person, but I doubt. What the IGP is reading is quite different from the document we have in. No, sir, we are all here for budget.
Very important, please.
It's very, very important that whatever they are presenting, all members will be acquainted with it. You can't give me a copy after this. It's not the same thing. The details are not here, like the zonal offices he has mentioned. They are not captured here.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman. Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
Please, Senator, please. Take it easy. It is our decision within the leadership of this committee to allow IG to summarize his presentation.
No, Chairman, we're not in a hurry. We are not in a hurry. We must do the right thing.
We are not in the chamber. You are there to wait for a collective. You have it.
It's not in this copy.
What is written is
A new copy was sent to you. Check and see it. If you just have the copy, ask for the copy. This is not a big deal. You ask for the copy. The copy is there available.
Mr. Chairman, I'm still on the floor. I'm still on the floor, Mr. Chairman.
We need the opinion of all the members. Can we allow IG to proceed with what is reading?
No, we don't have it. We don't have the copy. Then I will leave. I will leave the copy. What are we reading now? What do you want to do? We are acting in the head. Leave.
Mr. Chairman, please go. Mr. Chairman, point of order, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman. Thank you. Deputy Chief Whip. Deputy Chief Whip. Deputy Chief Whip. Deputy Chief Whip. Mr. Chairman.
Point of order, please. Mr. Chairman, distinguished colleagues. We are here to serve Nigerians. And Nigerians should see us as a very serious institution. We are not against the presentation of the IGP, but I, as a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, should have what the IGP is reading. Yes. Exactly. Please let me finish. I represent.
Wait. I don't know if it's the breaking news. Arise. That's Unduka Obiagbena leads Arise News team to Washington, D.C. for Trump inauguration and then to Davos for World Economic Forums. Interesting. Unduka Obiagbena leads Arise News team to Washington, D.C. for Trump inauguration, then to Davos for World Economic Forums, led by Chairman and Editor-in-Chief Unduka Obiagbena at the invitation of a former Arise News staff who is now a Trump surrogate. The Arise team landed in Washington, D.C. for a robust coverage of Donald Trump's inauguration at the United States 47th president. The Arise team include, who be that? Somebody just put their Twitter, this is, let me see. Media, what was that? Ohio Diwa. I don't know who that is, but works with Arise. And okay, Adefemi Akinsaya. She's also among the Arise team. And I know somebody flew in from Turkey. That's Okpeyemi Adeyu. So then, so Arise will give you a blow-by-blow account. Come with blow-by-blow again now. Blow-by-blow events as they occur in the spotlight and behind the scene. Meanwhile, Arise News anchor, who be that? Rutos and Adesua and Ivanka have landed in Davos for on-the-spot coverage of global business leader at the World Economic Forum annual gathering, where Vice President Kasim Shettima is leading Nigerian economic team. Stay tuned to Arise News platform to get all the no. So Unduka na Trump surrogate na. I know na my English no. You don't understand. It's, led by Chairman in Chief Unduka Obiagbena at the invitation of the former Arise News staff. Who is that? Who is non-Trump surrogate? Huh. Can't be on the dark. Gotta get to work. Who did that be? Maybe I go. That's not. So I gotta find out who that is. I bet may not help me. Who know? Who is the former Arise News? Who is now Trump surrogate? Who the heck could that be? All right, let me get to work. Let me find out who that is, and we shall be meet again. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, let's come back later, where I will give you the history of the America, because the America as a country is an idea. When I said it, for example, they will laugh. America?
is an idea, literally an idea, which is to dominate the planet Earth. Now, is that going to happen? Hey, you're already on the journey. Stay tuned, and I will give you how that dream started, who bettered that dream, where they are in the dream, what has happened along the line. It's been 201 years since that idea has been put on motion. The idea to conquer the whole world was put on motion 201 years ago. America what will be 250 this year. See why Trump is to be envious. Now, so I will tell you who and who play a role and how it take concern us and where we are here today. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, like, share, and subscribe.